The world is changing fast. Technology, education, health, the way we eat, dress. There is hardly nothing in our life is not changing. Everywhere we have the feeling of insecurity. Some might say that this insecurity, what it is going to do to me? What will be for me tomorrow? Or what will be for my children tomorrow? So there is no certainty. Piachi, I hope I'm pronouncing her name properly. She did talk about how things are changing, what should be doing about it. Dynamic and fast-growing sector is IT BPO industry in Philippines. You guys all know about it. So with this so much of technology disruption, the question that I want to ask and also ask all of you is Philippines has the ability to lead the BPO technology disruption? We will discuss about it in a while, right? After talking about the world is changing, the next one is the technology landscape is changing. I will try not to go into too much jargon on the technology, et cetera, right? I want to make a few quick points on some of the technology that we're talking about. Cloud computing. It has been discussions with IT, information technology, for a so long period, but still there are some debate among people to say the transition to cloud, is that really safe? The proponent of this one would say transition to the cloud computing, lowering IT cost, and small businesses gets technology same as big businesses, whereas the opponent dismissed their claim and they citing there is concerns on the security and network reliability. So what is clear is, in terms of the cloud computing, the type and the number of jobs that we are going to have foresee in the industry is going to be enormous. Then getting into the big data, so much of data are merging. So much of data are merging from various digital sources. That makes analytics so critical, and so many companies, so many big enterprises tapping those dark data that was considered as useless several years ago. Those data are so critical, instantly they are providing some insight, and we are able to mitigate the risk and so on. Then talking about the mobile technology uses the cellular communications. And you all know that how much tremendous progress that we have made on the mobile. Some of the experts even saying that the computing technology going to going to depend on mobile technology as well as wireless networking. Then the social media. I don't need to tell you guys, in social media in Philippines, one of the booming stuff. It is a computer technology where we are able to communicate and share information and so on, so on. So there's a whole lot of technology landscape is changing. Then I want to quickly point out a couple of things. The real human problems, how we are solving. IBM yet again developed a supercomputer which is 25% faster in computing than the current computer that we have. And this supercomputer summits is used to aid human diseases like Alzheimer and cancer, astrophysics, fusion energy, and climate changes. That's IBM solves the real problem with the technology. To talk very quickly about, I think this one missing, yes. With IBM Watson, we are partnering with the 230 hospitals, applying AI and decision support to assist the cancer treatment. It's a serious one. Right? And IBM also has launched Sugar IQ that helps the user to watch how their glucose level is going up and down depending on the food or insulin or any routine that they have. IBM also partnering with the Pfizer on the drug discovery. Then the quantum is an emerging technology. The 50 years of advancement in mathematics, material science, and computer science, which really made the theory to come into reality. The quantum computer is already available in the web, and about 60,000 people already did 1.7 million of testing on that one. IBM also providing prizes for the professors, the students who is using those technology. Then talk very quickly, IBM, Walmart, and some other companies has partnered with IBM blockchain, come up with the food trust, which is tracking the foods across the supply chain management. Then there's also a joint venture with Maersk. With Maersk, using the blockchain, digitize the globe trade. So I just talk about a couple of these things now. I do want to come to BPO industry. We are in the age of digital disruption, cognitive era. You all knows about Uber and Grab, how they have transformed the industry without owning a single car, right? In the same way, Airbnb, without owning a single room, they are able to transform the hospitality industry. In the same way, you got Netflix, Amazon, disrupted Sears, Toys R Us, all of those big companies. That we are all aware, we are all know about it. Now my question is going to be, IBPAP, are they going to lead the disruption, or they are going to be disrupted? This is for all of us to think about it, right? If you are not going to be ready for the disruption, some other country is going to take over. and they are going to disrupt us. Very quickly, I want to talk. There is a lot of talks in the industry about the automation. Automation is going to wipe up the industry, right? Whether you hear about it or someone you are being tired coming from the work and they give you this news that all your job is going to disappear, don't believe it. Your job is not going to disappear. When we talk about the automation, you have the desktop automation. You look into Excel file and you develop some micro and so on. You are doing that one. Then we are talking about robotic. What is robotic? Robotic is nothing but software programs, right? This is all being used for the high volume transactional activities, right? Like a cut and paste, load, upload and download, those kind of things is taken care, which is all rule-based, does not require judgment. So those are the things that comes under the automation and RPAs, which is good in a sense. Our productivity is going to increase with that one. So very quickly to give you some samples on what are the things can be automated, right? When I was working in accounting myself, we do the reconciliations, right? We do the reconciliation. When I do the reconciliation, I spend so much of time in trying to get into, downloading your bank data, cash information, and so on. So much of time is spent. With the automation, we are able to, we can make it quick, and it is not going to be a boring job for anyone working day in, day out, hour after hour. We don't need that one, right? So I have given some of the examples. Payroll is another good example, and accounts payable, the reporting, and so on. Now I want to spend a minute or two about talking about cognitive computing and how it transforms our future. What you are seeing here is, first is, we were in the tabulating system area, which is a mechanical tabulation system which has been programmed through punch cards and strokes. And that has changed to programmable system era with 1950. This is more programming the computer to do more complex job, right? And now we are in the cognitive system era. We get into this cognitive system era because of so much of data, unstructured, that I said a while ago that we thought it is useless, are available, and we are able to use them. So the cognitive computing is nothing but it's learning, understanding, and communicating. That's a powerful tool that we are now in this era. I think many of you may already heard about the Watson technology that enables that transformation. It understands the natural language and generate hypothesis outcomes. And as you give more and more data, Watson learn quicker and is able to provide us the information that we need. Take an example of call center. With the chatbot, call center can be quickly replaced. The chatbot, the clients were able to dialogue with the chatbot, and the chatbot also giving agent assist. So that helps very much, right? So I want to come back and just kind of try to bring together the desktop automation we talked about. A while ago we talked about the RPA robotics I talked about. And then we are pulling out this cognitive computing, how it is going to help. That became the continuum. It will continue to be, we will continue to be developing on that. So now I'm coming into some very interesting point that has been discussed by the previous speaker also, right? Now we are talking about the industry, automation comes up, it is going to wipe the industry, which I said it is not. And then we talk about the AI, artificial intelligence we talked about, cognitive computing we talked about. So much of things is happening. What will happen to the human? What will happen to the human? Having technology and the human, they are not versus each other. They need to be combined together. Technology and the human working together makes it much stronger than facing those technology disruption. So one may ask a questions on what is going to be my role now? Is my role is disappearing? No, it is not disappearing. Your role is changing, right? How your role is changing? Just think about this one, right? The clients, our clients, they want more focus on issues that they have, how we are going to resolve and so on, so on. BPO industries several years ago, when we started the BPO industry, we are more looking into efficiency, productivity, reducing the cost. That's all we are concerned about it, right? And then over time, we turn to efficiency and also client expectation. Because we are able to turn around, right? This in Philippines, this has happened. In Philippines, we did an excellent job in managing this BPO industry. That made us to be one of the best country for the outsourcing business, right? Now, when you are just thinking about client need more focus, if I am going to end up in doing all those automation that has been taken care, if I am going to be doing the work like previously, I don't have time to focus on customer requirements, right? So just imagine how automations, robotics, everything is helping. It is helping us to do the rule-based, and that doesn't require judgmental, right? That allows us, all of us, to spend more time on focusing on clients and value-add works. We are able to do it, right? So what the human task? That's what I was saying. It is going to be more managing human and robotics. We are going to spend more time on it, managing our clients, and we are going to be managing the exception. We talk about the exception, right? There's a number of transactional things you are able to do it, but always there is an exception. That's something we will be managing. And also we will be making sure we are involved in the development, maintenance of all those robotics that we are creating. And we need to be training those robots that we are creating, cognitive systems that we are creating, and also assess the automations. So there's so much of work that we have. That's what I was saying. Our role is not disappearing. Our role is changing. That's something everyone has to understand, right? And also I was just giving an example of how Philippines has been, over time, developed and become one of the best country in the world where we are able to get the BPO industry growing. much faster than in any other country. So now I'm coming into my questions are what we can do for Philippines to lead BPO technology disruption. I told you, if you are not going to lead it, somebody going to lead it. What we are going to do? Before that, I want to make a very quick points and few quick points. One is 85% of the job that will exist in 2030 has not yet been invented. What that means is we have so much of opportunity, so much of job opportunities that is not yet been invented. Then in the future, no profession will be untouched by AI, artificial intelligence. What that means? It does create more jobs for us. The students today will work in the job that doesn't exist today, right? And then we are talking about creating a new collar jobs. It is more at the security, right, and the solutions, and so on. Those jobs doesn't actually require high studies. That's what Jeannie Romanti, the CEO of IBM, has been referring in some conversation that vocal training is good enough to get into those new collar jobs that we have. In IBM, we are helping our people as well as the students building up those skills that we needed for the future. The World Economic Forum reports, those were the 10, what you are seeing over there, 10 skills that you need to succeed in 2020. I'm not going to go through them. Just think about it. I just talk about managing the client, managing your people, and then being creative, right? Solutioning. On and on, you are going to spend more time on the judgment and decision making. You are not going to spend time on the transactional activities. So the role is changing on what we are going to do in the future. In IBM, we are looking for the skills, the people who has the data science and analytics. We talk about the cloud, we talk cognitive analytics, automation. Those are the hard skills in IBM. We are looking for people, and we are developing those people for that. Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to just try to bring up my point, just showing you a little bit on what we are doing in IBM, preparing ourselves for the future. One is we are creating learning roadmaps. It is critical that we need to continue to be learning, upskilling ourselves. You hear this word often, upskilling yourself, learning. We need to do that one, and we are doing it. Every single employee is having a learning roadmap. We are giving them more opportunity for learnings. Innovation bakes. In the BPO industry, when someone gets into their office, they work because we are working for the client. So here what we are doing is we are giving them some break, get together with a subject matter expert, discuss about some innovations on their day-to-day work, whatever they are doing it, how we can change it. So we are giving them opportunity to talk about that. Digital badges is a system we created whereby any things, like for example, if we talk about design thinking, we talk about the agile, we created the badging saying if you did such and such workshop, you get this badge, right? and so on. So that gives you a good view of how people are getting trained. This is all to say that we are training people and making them learn the things that they don't need it today, but they need it for tomorrow, right? And the same way, cognitive fair, we encourage the entire population to come up with ideas. We are giving them awards, rewards, and so on, right? The automation idea I talk about, and the P-Tech, which is a pathway tech program that we got for students who is interested contributing into the latest technology. So I do want to refer this quote. Alvin Toffler, he said that illiterate on the 25th century will not those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. We need to learn. Unlearn is whatever things that you have learned which is not useful or it is not good for the environment. Unlearn, forget it. Don't keep, because you are a big boss and you will continue to say this is what you should be doing. No, don't do that. And relearn is more, whatever you have learned, you are not using it, relearn, right? So that is very, very, very critical in my view, right? Now I want to spend a couple of minutes on my questions. You remember my questions? Is Philippines has the ability to lead BPO technology? Depending on who you are asking, you may have a different answers. The way I look at things, the way I look at my life, the way I look at my experience is, we were in the tabulating systems, programming era, and cognitive era. We did the right things to pass through all those era, right? So for me, it is a natural that you are having a lot of disruption and you get yourself prepared. Rather than saying, hey, because of automation, every job is going to be wiped out. Sorry, guys, that's not the way it is going to work, right? The same Philippines that passed through those era will be able to pass through what we are going to see today and tomorrow, right? The other point is ecosystem. We cannot do it, myself, yourself, we cannot do it on our own. There were a good question on the previous discussion. What government can do? What IBPAP can do? You remember I challenged IBPAP, are they going to lead the disruption or they are going to be disrupted? So IBPAP need to be engaged more. Government, local government need to be engaged more. Very strongly I would say is the local government should be able to provide funding for artificial intelligence, AI, for the learnings and developing the people. So they all need to be geared up and try to help us more. In terms of the capabilities in Philippines, do we have those capabilities? I'm going to tell you a real story on the capabilities of Filipinos, right? In the delivery center, you are supporting clients, right? And we are delivering. We are doing their back office support. When it gets into selling, there will be a good salesman with the coat and tie will be coming, talking to the client. It is not going to be me or my team who is doing day in, day out work in the center, right? So we have seen how the technology is disrupting us and our roles needs to be changing. So I've been working with my team my entire team saying, we are going to upskill ourselves, right? One of the strategic imperative that we brought is delivery sales. Delivery sales. What that means is when you are having a client, you are providing back office support to them, whether it is accounting or accounts payable or receivable and so on. When the client comes up, who is the good person to talk to the client and be able to tell them, one, our capability, two, giving them some ideas, solutions, automations, etc. That's going to be the delivery team. So in Naga, there was a client visit. The team prepared very well, and the team explained to the client, this is how we are taking your work, and this is how we are doing it, right? And these were the 10 things we can do to further improve it. By the way, we also have this capability on 1, 2, 3, 4. Who did this one? The delivery team did that one. So guess what? That client, in a month, signed up providing us more jobs, 150 jobs. So the discussion point I am bringing here is the delivery team who is not the sales are able to sell. Just imagine that one, right? They are able to sell. So if you are going to follow the same thing what I said, the roles are not disappearing, roles are changing. The focus is getting more and more with the client. You and me are the right person to be able to explain to the client what is going on, right? And be able to provide them some suggestion on how and what they can do it. So this example, what I am trying to give it to you is more to say, we are changing the mindset. We got the growth mindset. Delivery team should not be saying, I'm not able to grow. No, have a growth mindset and you grow yourself, right? So this is one example to bring back to my conversation on, is Philippine. Okay. So there is one other chart, this is not here. Is Philippine has ability to lead the BPO technology disruption? Yes, we have. One, resilience. You guys got a lot of resilience. You are well known for that one. And two, adaptability, right? And the third one is creativity. Then empathy. Think about this one. Resilience, adaptability, creativity, empathy, race. We are in this race. We are able to make a big difference. It's not only because I love Philippines, I've been in Philippines more than 3 years, and I have a lot of admiration. In addition to that, ang asawa ko ay Filipina. At andito sa'yo. So the point I'm making team is, you guys got everything you need. When I talk to my daughter, when she comes back, I didn't get this job, I'm not happy with the job and everything, I used to say exactly what my father used to tell me. I have given you everything. It is now up to you to package yourself and go, right? That's what I continue to say to my daughter. You have everything you needed to lead this industry. But we do need the help of IBPAP, government, locals, everyone's help we need. We cannot do things on our own, right? So with that one, I really encourage each and every one of you, comes from my bottom of my heart. Don't sit down during your conversation or when you are tired or not tired, talking about my job is going away. I'm sorry. You are fooling yourself. Your job is not going away. You are getting more opportunity, right? Stop doing day in, day out the same work, cut and paste, cut and paste. I don't want to do it anymore. I did it before, right? I want to do more creativity, critical thinking, manage the client, right? I can do so many things, and you can do so many things. Your family can do so many things, and we can build upon it, and we can develop, and we can lead all other countries. I don't want to name the countries, right? I want Philippines to be leading, and Philippines will be able to lead, despite of the fact all the scary things you are hearing about various technologies and so on, right? With that one, thank you very much.